Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It's so good to see you. Welcome to those who are new. Welcome to those returning. It's amazing to have you. I was going to head to bed, but Spirit said one more video. And so I'm going to make it, probably post it tomorrow. But, lately we have been talking a lot about these energies that are very interested in your energy, right? So I kind of want to do just, let's see who is in collective energy. Okay, let's just kind of see, maybe this will bring some confirmation and clarity to you if you think that some of the things that we have been talking about is meant for you. Okay, so let's kind of just get the idea of what is in your energy. And again, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I love to connect with you guys, okay? So listen, let's see. We have these are archetypes, I think. So let's see. Seeker in reverse. So this is a seeker in the shadow side. Inability to commit to a path once found. I don't know if this is the energy that they wanted you in, because I kind of get that. I kind of feel like you had people on your path meant to distract you from where you were actually meant to go. You are the thirst for wisdom and truth wherever you go, but you had energies, and you may have had these energies throughout your life trying to distract you, trying to keep you from finding, your path and your purpose. So you have people, and honestly, these are lost souls. I hate to say it, but that's what they just said to me. Sorry, I look hideous here. I'm tired. They just use the word lost souls. So, you may have, and I get the idea that you have encountered this energy over and over again in your life. You feel like you're on the right path, and then all of a sudden something happens. Whatever this last one was, seems to be a pretty major one, because you are getting closer and closer to the path you're actually meant to be on. So you have distractions here, which we have talked about a lot lately. Damsel, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Again, we have a shadow attribute here. So we have a Midas or a miser. You have somebody who is overly obsessed with finances, emotions, fear of losing everything, right? So they do things because they're afraid of losing it all. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they're all in the dilettante, in the shadow, pretension, to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So you have somebody who is out here acting like they know it all when they know nothing. Why am I getting like slanderous gossiper, right? Oh, let me tell you about the collective, but they don't know anything about you. God, we have a beggar in the reverse. So this is somebody who depends on others to the exclusion of effort. They want everybody else to do something for them. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? This is somebody who, they're not going to put in the work. Literally, look at her. She ain't going to put in the work. One more. Why are these all in the dark, in the shadow? Okay, thank you. In the shadow. They're not all reversed either. Mediator in their shadow. So negotiating with an ulterior motive, hidden agendas, either personally or professionally. So you have been dealing with somebody, again, what can you give me? It's all for them. If they don't care about the people that are around them. Networker in the shadow side conveys information only for personal gain that spreads fear and falsehood. This is like gossip, slander, somebody who's just running somebody's name through the mud because they're afraid of what you know and where you're going. Okay, interesting. What's on the bottom? Child orphan in the shadow. Feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. Seeking inappropriate surrogate families. This is somebody who has a fear of abandonment. Okay, so like we keep saying, like, you have people, places, things, right, that you have walked away from. why they are, I hear the word retaliating. Why? And here's the funny thing is, I literally am about to do a prayer for the channel about retaliation. A lot of what you are going through right now are these lower vibrations, these demonic entities, retaliating because they're not winning. So there are prayers that you can use, and I have a book that is has been used in exorcisms and things like that, and retaliation is a thing, especially when the devil doesn't get his way. Okay, so you're on your path and your purpose, and you have had and continue to have people that are out here trying to stifle that. The devil's scared. Okay, and let me tell you, they don't fight that hard if it wasn't worth fighting for. Okay, so literally what this is rather deep for a late night read, isn't it? What they're saying to me is what you are doing matters. Your story, your role is incredibly significant for raising the vibration. I think it's also for you to help people to find their way. Okay, all of the things that this is not, that's what you're meant to help people find. Okay, bless it. It's getting heavy. Okay, let me go over here. Oh shit, we'll get there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on. So you have a lot of, you're up against a lot. You have people who are using money, their want of money, you know, so to me that sounds like somebody's been paid to do something. You have a network, you know, people are using information about you and to spread false narratives. You have mediators, so people who actually are not out to mediate, but all for personal gain. You have people who don't want to put the work in, but just want to be paid. You have people trying to distract you. So, Pisces, this is energetically, okay, this is spiritually. Whoever I'm talking to, you're going through a lot of spiritual warfare right now. Okay, so you have a lot of psychic attacks, a lot of mystical attacks, right? 12th house is a lot about the past and endings as well. So things are coming to an end. You may be dealing with Pisces, but I'm getting more of 12th house, okay? The shadow side of Pisces is addiction. So you have people, entities, and energies that are addicted to doing this, okay? They may be doing something to your dream state as well. So if you haven't and don't already, I highly suggest that you talk to your guardian angels and Archangel Michael before you go to bed to protect you during sleep. Okay, the devil, the lower vibration entities and energies, they work very hard on your mind, on your mindset. So be very aware of who you are, what you stand for, and how you actually feel, okay? Ask your guides, your angels, for clear, concise messages when you are in doubt. But I am getting, one, you need to pay attention to your dreams. 2, you also need to ask your guides, your angels, and your ancestors to protect you while you sleep. Okay, you have some spiritual attacks going on here while you are sleeping to throw you off of your path. You may be seeing some of these people in your sleep, or they may be masking themselves as other people to try and turn you against things, right? To try and turn your eye, to turn you from your path. Yeah, these are, this is a group, a network, a social group, a network, or people, places, things that you were once in agreement with. There was a partnership here, okay? So Aquarius energy is the 11th house. This is groups. This is a network. This is societies. With this partnership in reverse, the 7th house, this is something that you walked away from, okay? Or this is a bad business, right? A marriage, a relationship, a friendship that you no longer are in. So you have some kind of tie here. The other thing with Aquarius can talk about like internet, social media, you know, so perhaps there's a dark group or partnership, like a flip-floppy partnership or business that's doing something online. And this is for financial gain. Okay, so you may be trying to use your creative abilities to turn things to gold. So it sounds like you're trying to use your abilities and your, you know, your entrepreneurial skills to turn things into gold, to turn things into finance, to turn things into abundance. This may have been taken from you online. Okay, so this is somebody who, and it looks like it's more than one. Okay, there's more than one person here. Yeah, they wanted to affect your health, your routines, and your business. Okay, so again, what is this? Pretension, knowing too much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So that could be part of the rumor mill. Okay, I see a lot of this going on, and they're saying she doesn't know what she's doing. She's not, like, if you're online and you do something like I do, right? She's a fake. She's a phony. She's not a healer. She's not a reader. She's not this. You know, maybe you're a horrible hairstylist. Yeah, I'm a hairstylist. You know, whatever. There's stuff that they're saying that is affecting your work, affecting your health. So they're trying to do things so it affects your stability, your security. So then all of a sudden you go from a high vibration to a low vibration because you're now you're in a state of worry. You're in a state of anxiety. You're in a state of panic, you know? So just, I think part of why this is coming out is so that, you know, it's not in your mind. You're not going crazy. People actually do this. Okay. The thing of the matter is, and this is what I have learned on my own journey, and I'm only going to speak for myself because this is my path and my journey. So your journey may be different, but what I have become aware of is why were things like this able to hit my doorstep? Because ultimately I'm actually like a decent person. I would go out of my way above and beyond to help anybody and everybody. My heart leads me, gets me into trouble because I'm led emotionally. So why did all of this come onto my path? Why was I manipulated? Why do I always have people that betray me? And, you know, this long list of things. Why did it get so bad? I needed the wake-up call. I needed, and see, they don't want me talking about this. As soon as I sat down to do this video, I started losing my voice. So I rebuke all of this in the name of Jesus. And this is my throat chakra, and I will use it how I see fit. Okay? So here's the thing. Why was I allowed to be hit so hard by energy and entities? One, because I know my path is big. Two, I know I have a reason for my story and all the struggles I've had in my life. And three, I had to learn healthy boundaries. I had to learn. My philosophy before was, if they haven't done anything to me, why would I treat them any different? Okay, well, now my philosophy is my energy is expensive and exclusive. Not everybody deserves a seat at my table. Not saying that I'm the shit, but I am saying that you have to prove your worth. You have to prove that you have a spot at my table, that you're not going to backstab me, that you're not going to betray me, that you're not there to use me for what you think you can get, which is this. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of things happen because I wasn't naive, but I allowed my heart to lead. I allowed my emotion, my heart of giving and generosity to lead. And that wasn't okay because people took advantage of it. So right now you are going through a major transformation. Scorpio season is here. This is an intense transformation. I will also tell you, Scorpio is the ruler of the 8th house, and the 8th house deals with the occult. That's why I do think there is, for some of you, not all of you, so don't claim it if it doesn't pertain to your story, but there is energetic manipulation going on. There are dark, shifty partnerships and groups gathering to come up with a plan to throw you off your path. So just know that the 8th house is not just about transformation, but it is about the occult and occult practices. You have a partnership here, shifty group. Okay, so just know that. Let's talk about this mediator. Oh shit, that came right out. Sagittarius. Okay, so mediator, this is people, places, and things. They use negotiations for their own good. They're not doing it to balance out a situation. But Sagittarius, this is like, I feel like this is, you have people at a distance, okay? This is happening, it's not happening like immediately. That's why I think like this is happening away from you. This is, you know, but they are making bold moves. Okay, Sagittarian is like adventure, bold, you know, all of this kind of thing. But the other side of Sagittarius is the 9th house. Sagittarius is the ruler of the 9th house. The 9th house is about your personal beliefs. It is about law. It is about looking at things from a higher consciousness. Okay, well, with these people in their shadow, honey, they're not doing any of that. Okay, they're not seeing things. They're not living in a high vibration. They're not seeing things from a higher perspective. The legal side of this to me is there is going to be a spiritual law that has to come into play to balance this out. Okay, so that's just my understanding. That's me. Somebody wants a renewal. You have a network that wants some kind of transformation, some kind of new beginning, you know, but the thing is, this is in reverse. This isn't going to happen. You have stepped into a different energy. And if you haven't, I highly suggest it. You know, I highly suggest it because this network, this is somebody, these are people, places, things, energies, entities that are trying to gather. I'm seeing, I just saw a spiritual spy. So you have some kind of monitoring spirit. You have, and if you know what a monitoring spirit, these are the friends that ask too many questions. Where, why, I want proof. I want this, I want that. You know, you're going to know because they're asking too many guided questions and they want to know things because they want to spread things, right? So with this renewal in reverse, with this change, Pluto energy, this is evolution. These are people who refuse to change. And these are people that you refuse to have a renewal, a reconciliation with. So your light irritates their demons. Okay, what you are doing, this is sextile energy. This is your talents. This is how you communicate, what you create, how you express, who you cooperate with, right? But you are here using your light to empower, inspire, and heal. You're using your light to help people, okay, which is ultimately what you're meant to do. Now, your light has triggered somebody else's abandonment wounds, their inner child wounds. And this is how all of this starts. You know, they start feeling like you're leaving them behind, or there's these ideas of, you know, jealousy, envy, you know, and it starts with these little tiny things, these little tiny comments that turn bigger and bigger, affects you more and more. And then it goes into this kind of work, right? So I'm going to pull a little bit of tarot and then we may get into a couple other things. I don't want to make it too long. These cards. Ooh, let's use this Yuletide tarot. Okay. So these are new and I love it. They're so good. All right, so let's talk about this. Oh my God, my nose is itchy. Unexpected visitor. Okay, FYI. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, they definitely did some work. Some spiritual work. Definitely some kind of spiritual work with this Piscean energy, and it was meant to throw you off of your path. We're going to pull out the energies of affliction in a minute, and we'll talk a little bit more about what energy may have been sent towards you, but they didn't want you mastering something, the 8 of Pentacles, but they also they worked at it over and over again. Okay. Master of Pentacles. This was definitely a business. So there's definitely money that has crossed hands here. A lot of pentacles right now. God, this nose. You may have a visitor. I may have a visitor. I don't know what's happening. It's like itchy. My mom always said if your nose itches, you're going to kiss a fool. Well, apparently most of them have been. But anywho, back to you. With the King of Pentacles energy, I do feel that this is a business. Okay, so there is a network, a group, a shady, shifty group, a partnership. There's been money that has crossed people's hands because, or it's affecting your money, your finances, you know, with this Midas energy in the shadow. So, yeah, there's definitely a business. People got paid to make sure that you were not seen. You were not heard. New moon. The new moon energy, hold on, let's see. The new moon energy is, let me see. Yeah, the moon. That's what I thought. They put, and here it is. Okay, so the moon energy, secrets, lies, illusions, confusion. They put a lot of illusions, confusions around your work, your health, and your routine, basically, right? And they sat in expectation. They were waiting for something to work here. Okay, so illusions, confusions, lies, something that was done in the dark. They sat here waiting and watching with expectation. Okay, now they did this to an earth angel. Okay, Temperance. Here's the other side of this, right? Temperance angel. Did they know? Probably not. You know, they wanted you dependent on others. Okay, but the thing is, whatever this is, you ultimately are going to receive balance, harmony, a sense of peace and serenity. And look at the way she's pouring things out, right? She's like, that's not needed. I hold my own, you know. They're saying something about, I don't know if somebody tried to do something to a drink. Something weird with a drink. Okay, so anywho, if you have a weird sensation about food or drinks or something that somebody gives you that you ingest, please be very careful. Okay, so you have the Apprentice of Wands. This is like the Knight of Wands energy. So this is like the Sagittarian and this mediator. Okay, so this Knight of Wands, to me, like, they moved forward with a lot of excitement and a lot of passion. That's why with this, I do feel there's a spiritual balance, a spiritual law that's coming into play. Okay, this network. Master of Wands. So this kind of came out on the side. So this is the King of Wands. Again, wand energy can be wands. Wand energy can be wands. You know, I don't know if you had somebody overly excited by your energy. Somebody made a lot of very bold moves, okay? They keep saying the word lustful. Okay, so I don't know, like the wand energy to me, this is, especially with it being on the side, you had somebody who, they were interested in what they saw, right? It's a little bit like there's a lot of passion behind this. And I don't know if maybe this is somebody you had a little bit of passionate fling with, right? But this person thought they could come back and have some kind of reconciliation with you. But the thing is, the world's here. Ascending spring in this deck is the world. You already completed this cycle, and now look what's underneath here. Justice. There's a balance that's coming in, and it's leaving people heartbroken. They're at a stalemate. They can't move at this point. You know, for this Four of Cups energy, they're just going to have to sit there and think about what they did. Midnight energy, it's the sun in this deck. This is you sitting in a high vibration, okay? You have, you know, look at that. Things were illuminated to you as well with that full moon energy. You know, like full moon energy is achievement, it's intention, it's, you know, illumination. But with this sun energy, you see things for what it is. All right. And with this Two of Swords, that blockage, you've got your angels here, Archangel Michael's here, creating a change, a major change. And this is what you have people around you. They, sleepless nights, anxiety, what they wanted for you came back at them. Look, as above, so below. Judgment. As above, so below. Judgment. So judgment has been called on what all of has happened. Okay. And again, like I'm telling you, we as earth angels, star energies, whatever you consider yourself, if these things are allowed to hit your doorstep, it's for a reason. And we have to ultimately look at that. We can't sit in the energy of why me, why me, why me? Why is my life so chaotic? Why do I have all these traumas? Why do I have all these betrayals? Why? Ultimately, the way I look at it, we go through traumas. We go through life. We go through events because somebody has to go through it in order to teach others how to get through it. And ultimately, you guys coming in as these earth angels, one, you deliver karma where it needs to go. Okay. Two, you're also here giving people hope for more because they're in a dark space. Okay. Let me come over here. I'm going to get the energy of afflictions out. Cult. What did I say? Some kind of weird, low vibrational community? A group that follows a set of extreme beliefs or practices typically centered around a charismatic leader and often manipulates or isolates its members to maintain control. Was this what they were telling people? Like, you're part of a cult? Were they telling people that? Or are they actually part of a cult? Because I'm getting it both ways. Interesting. All right, what do they want to tell you? Binding rituals. Yeah. Practices designed to trap or bind a person's energy, preventing them from moving forward or achieving their potential. This is the work that they did. This is like binding energies. They didn't want you moving forward, right? What is this? The seeker. They don't want you on your path and your purpose. You're going to expose them for what they are, and you're going to help people how to figure out how to get out of this. Okay, so of course they don't want that coming out. So they wanted to trap you. They wanted to distract you. Silent binding spells. Again, they also wanted you silenced. Rituals done covertly to bind a person's will, keeping them stuck or under another's influence without their knowledge. They paid for that. There's a whole business adventure. They paid for that. What did I tell you about this? This Midas energy, whatever you are creatively speaking and doing, you are meant to, one, gain abundance and also help people. Why did they want you silenced? Boop. And they were paying against your will. And they were doing it without your knowledge. Yeah, that's not going to fly in the spiritual law, by the way. Infernal contracts. Deals or pacts made with dark energies or entities that bind someone to a harmful path. That's what they were hoping you would go down. A path of heartbreak. Confusion, illusion, right? This dilettante in their shadow. What did we say? This is, yeah, you had somebody giving you advice, but they didn't know. I mean, they didn't have the knowledge to do that. You know, maybe you had some kind of boss or some kind of friend or, you know, a spiritual guru, right? When they were in fact trying to keep you on a harmful path. Sorry. Vengeful sorcery. This is what falling on the occult. This is falling on that beggar. Things that were done to keep things out of balance, right? Things that were done to keep you dependent. Rituals used to seek revenge or bring harm to those who have wronged the practitioner. So there's been a practitioner. They've gotten some kind of catchback from what they've been doing because they were using magical means to exact pain or suffering. So they're now doing vengeful things to you because they think you're retaliating. Funny thing is, you're an earth angel. Okay, so it's their own energy coming back at them. Freaking weirdos. You had false light. You know, I don't know if they were telling people that you had a false light, but you ultimately had people that were trying to say they were of the light. You know, misinterpretation or use of spiritual wisdom or guidance for personal gain. Funny how that's falling under this mediator for personal gain, right? So you had people that were, it's almost like, I just heard the word barking orders, but it's like telling people how to balance this out, but it was all for them to come out on top. It's not like a spread the wealth kind of thing, right? None of these negotiations were going to help anybody but themselves. So you had somebody that was only here appearing from light, but they were doing this for deception and personal gain. Coven. So I don't know if you had this King of Wands was part of a coven. A group of witches or warlocks who come together to perform rituals, cast spells, harness collective magical energy, often guided by a leader or elder and united in their practice of the craft. So again, a dark group, okay? Bottom of the deck, they may have done some kind of love spell because they feel abandoned, sometimes used with negative intentions to manipulate someone's emotions, making them feel bound to someone or forcing them into a relationship. You know, there was once this guy that let me tell you a little bit. I'm a Capricorn, okay? I'm real good at my cutoff game, okay? Real good. And I mean, I don't date a lot. I don't have time. But when I do go out, oftentimes, I'm real good at being like, you know what? I'm not really that interested. And I'll just be real nice, but I don't continue. And I definitely do not beg. Okay? Do not beg. Do not chase. Okay? That's just not in me. This one person that I am 100% sure spell work was involved, I couldn't get him off my mind. I was like this weird obsession with, oh my God, what is he doing? Oh my God. You know, I look at his picture now, not even attractive. At the time, I thought, oh shit. You know, like love spell. Okay, why? To keep me off my path and my purpose. Distraction. Pretty sure he's the devil. Okay, pretty sure he might even be a practitioner. Who knows? But what I do know, there was energetic manipulation done to keep me off my path and my purpose. Because had I continued to see this person, I'm sure a lot of bad things would have happened. I'm sure a lot of bad things were supposed to happen when I was with him, seeing him, you know? Oh yeah, lots of things. We'll get into that one day. But all I can say is know how important your path and your purpose is, and know if you are loved by God, you are also the devil is very interested in you, okay? Interested in what your soul wants to do, interested in where you want to go and what you're going to do for the collective to raise vibrations and help them, okay? So you better believe that when you have a high calling, you also have a high calling on the other side. Okay, so you have people, places, and things that will accept money to turn on you, to turn you off of your path and your purpose, confuse you, and put you in a place where you can't get out of. So be very aware. All right, I'm gonna get you. A lot of energy moving. Let's get a tea leaf. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Let's see where that's going. Somebody, and I just put this on where I said that people were taking finances from you. Yeah. And they did it with a lot of passion. So I just put this on these binding, the silent binding spells, the King of Pentacles and this Midas in the reverse. This is people obsessed with stopping your creations, stopping your voice. So I do think what was taken from you will return. You do have somebody who may be reaching out, okay, because they now need assistance and guidance because they went down the wrong path. Disappointment in a friend or lover. Yeah, you have a friend or lover that turned on you. I'm telling you. Maybe more than one. But guess what? I love this for you, honey. Good fortune is here. And it has to do, you have a lot of spiritual abilities. Trust your intuition at this time, okay? You may be dealing with a fair man, a man with gray hair, blonde hair, white hair. But listen, why are they so interested in you? A windfall. You have someone new entering your life. With this, something new, someone new, you have a windfall coming in. And you, my friend, are on the road to success. So get back to the basics. Lead with love. All right? You have a prosperity and abundance coming to you. And victory is yours. Ooh, honey, maybe you had a dealings with a dark man, okay? He looking angry now, isn't he? Yeah, dissatisfaction because he was worried about material things, right? What was in your bag? You wore a different hat. This person didn't know who you were in your spiritual rank, okay? They saw you as somebody, as an easy target. They're showing me a target right now. They saw you as an easy target. Funny thing is, you wore a different hat. Earth angel, okay? So I love this for you. Please remember to stay focused. You're on a very big mission, okay? And this is only meant for, you know, a few, right? So be proud of yourself. You've come far. You have come a long way. And FYI, I love you. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. You'll find all my information in the description below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. All right, I love you guys.